What's going on, you guys? It's Haji here and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to react to Sam Oves, how to get your mind out of the weeds. But why are we reacting to this video? So very important. The theme of most of the videos that we've been watching these past couple of days have been all about mindset. So this video is going to help us take control of our mind, learn how to optimize our mind, clear all that negativity out of it. I actually haven't watched it yet, so it's going to be really interesting. I love doing these reactions as I'm watching the video for the first time, so I don't know what to expect. Yeah, so with that being said, let's dive right into the video.
Hey everyone, Sam Oves here, and in today's video, I want to explain why your mind is like a garden and how you must know what your plant is. And you must constantly and relentlessly remove weeds. And the most important point is you must never mistake the weeds for the plant itself. Now you're probably thinking, what the hell am I talking about? Why do I have some plant on my desk? It's a good question. And this is just a really simple, straightforward way to think about your life, your mind, and what you're actually trying to do, like your goals and your intentions and things like that. So I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs. And I've basically been helping people start their own business and grow their own business for like 6 or 7 years now. And what I've noticed is there's just a recurring theme and a recurring pattern with pretty much everyone I talk to. And their minds look like this. Their whole life looks like this. And what I mean by that is, where's the plant in here? You know, it looks like just a bunch of weeds and you can't even really see the plant. And what's happened here is somebody has started out with, just some soil, and the soil is like your mind, right? And then you plant a seed in it, and then that seed grows into a plant. But if you're not carefully policing that garden and removing weeds every single day, then what happens is weeds start to grow, and they start to surround the plant that you grew. And when it gets to this state here, where you can't even see the plant, it just looks like all of these weeds, then what people do, and this is the biggest mistake, is they mistake the weeds for the plant itself. And I see this every single day. I'll talk to an entrepreneur.
First thing, he's making an analogy that you might have a goal, a vision. So that's the plant. You plant that. So you plant that seed in your head. My goal, my vision. But then you have all these limiting negative beliefs, and those are the weeds. And those negative limiting beliefs basically hides and overshadows and overpowers your actual goals and visions. And that is so true, because if the weeds, the negativity is stronger in your head than your goals and visions, then of course the negativity will always win and you will always be stuck. Great point.
And they're so stressed out and they're so worried trying to manage and maintain these things that they've put into their life and into their business that aren't the main thing. And all of their time has gotten basically drained, and all of their resources have gotten drained, and all of their mental capacity and attention and energy has gotten drained just trying to feed weeds. And the plant, which they once...
Got it. Oh. So the weeds are actually not negative beliefs. The weeds are distractions that you purposely put up. Like different distractions in your life. So if you're trying to grow a business, but you're trying to do 5 other things, the 5 other things are the weeds. Trying to grow a business, but trying to learn how to play the guitar at the same time, that becomes a weed. That's distracting you from the main thing. So true.
Planted in there and had the intention of growing has gotten neglected, and they've forgotten it's there. So now they're basically just feeding the weeds every single day. And I see this every single day, and it's quite hard to explain this to people in the straightforward sense, like, oh, you're just doing too much, you've got to get rid of all of these things, these are all distractions. It's very hard to explain that to a person because they're attached to these things. They've got a huge attachment to all of these weeds. So a really good kind of analogy or metaphor I've got for explaining it is like your mind is like a garden, your life is like a garden. And so what you've got to learn to do is you've got to get rid of these weeds. So I'll just start taking them out now. So here's distraction, one weed.
Oh, facts.
Here is another one, right? And these things, these weeds, they're relentless. They just keep growing.
This is why a person that does one thing, one business, is way more successful than a person that goes after multiple businesses at the same time. Like this, Damon John said this on Shark Tank. He started FUBU and Under Armour started at the same time. He went on to produce multiple clothing lines, multiple different shirts, hats, shoes, jeans. Under Armour stuck to one shirt. One shirt. Like, they only sold one shirt. They just sold the compression shirt as long as possible. And now, Under Armour is, a behemoth where FUBU is now dead. Right? You see the difference where a company that sticks to one thing is way more successful than a company that does multiple things. So these distractions, the things that distract you from what's most important, which is having a good product, selling it to people, right? This distracts you. So this is such a good point, but one of the very hardest things to implement, because all our energy is, we're like attached to these weeds. We're attached to all these other things that we're doing, and we're thinking that it's a must. We're thinking that it's gonna help us get to where we want faster. Where the less is more paradox is so true, and it plays a big role here. The less you do, the less seeds that you plant. And if you have one seed and you focus it, and you have a bucket, and if you take 100% of that water and put it just into that plant without drowning it, that plant is going to grow much faster, much bigger, much stronger. If you had a bucket of water and that water is your attention, and you're starting to water all these different seeds, all these different weeds and everything like that, each plant is going to suffer because of it. So this is a very, very, very good point. And what's important to note is that there's not an unlimited amount of water or attention that you have in a single day. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go back to the faucet and re-up. You have a certain amount for that day, and if you want to re-up, you go to sleep, get your energy back, and you have another 24 hours, right? So this is a very, 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 very solid point, but very, very hard to implement. One of the best ways to implement it is just detach yourself from certain things, and just like one thing that's helping me is just patience. Like with this type of concept that he's explaining right now, patience enough to know that it's all good. I'll just do this, though it's boring, though I think I can go faster, I think I can do all this. I'm going to just be patient with this one thing, and when the time is right, we can transition to the next level instead of getting ahead of yourself, right? Like in that last Will Smith video, one brick at a time. You know what I'm saying? So lay each brick as good as possible at a time. So this is such a gem. I mean, like, literally gold. Like, this is why I love listening to this guy, because he doesn't talk no bullshit. This is stuff that you're not going to hear. This is unsexy advice, but this is the real deal.
And what happens is if you start pulling them all away, you'll uncover a plant that sits at the bottom, right? This was the original intent. This was the thing that the person wanted to grow. Like, quite often when somebody starts a business, they see there's a specific niche or area of the world that they're interested in, right? Like a group of people or a particular field, and they've got an interest in this and a curiosity in it, and that's what led them to it. And then they're typically trying to solve a problem for these people. So things are very clear. It's like, okay, this is the group of people, this is the problem they face, and here's why that problem is painful for them, and here's the solution I'm going to offer to these people to solve that problem. And that is how I'm going to create value, and by creating that value, I'm going to have myself a business that makes money, right? So this is what it looks like at the start. Clean garden, plant an intentional seed, and the plant you want starts to grow. And good businesses and good minds and, good entrepreneurs' lives, they look like this. There's no weeds, and there's a very healthy plant growing, right? That is their business. But you have to learn to remove these weeds, because you have to be intentional about planting a seed to grow like your main thing, right? These businesses don't just come out of nowhere. You have to be very intentional and deliberate about planting these. But the thing about weeds is that you don't have to be intentional at all. They just come. Right. And so no matter what you do, these weeds are going to start just coming into your business, and they come in fast. And you don't have to invite them. You don't have to do it.
Another word for weeds is shiny object syndrome. Seeing new things and hopping on it when you already have one thing. Stick to one thing.
To do anything, one thing's for sure, they're just going to start coming in. So, one of these might be Instagram. One of them might be, deciding you need to write an Amazon best-selling book, then a blog, then a YouTube channel. And then, you need to start doing events, and then you need to do all of this crap. And then look, now you've got this. You have just a whole lot of weeds. You can't see your plant anymore. Now you're stressed out because you don't have enough resources, time, and attention to feed all of this. So the plant starts dying, and these weeds start taking over. And then the most tragic mistake, you forget. You forget that the plant was there, you forget what it was, and you mistake the weeds for the plant itself. And when this happens, businesses die. And what you get instead...
Exactly. You don't make the main thing the main thing. Make the main thing the main thing. So true. When I started in business, this happened to me. I'm telling you guys, this is actual facts. This is the truth this is the truth. Facts. You get me? So you need to focus on main thing is the main thing. It's so many different things that will pop up that will steal your attention. And when all these things start to steal your attention, you start to lose the main thing. You start to lose money. You don't have enough resources. You start to get overstressed. There's a quote that makes no sense, but makes a lot of sense. Right? If you have too much to do, get rid of some things. Super simple. If you have a to-do list that stresses you out, let's erase some stuff. Let's cross some things out. Fuck it. I'm not doing it anymore. It's that simple. Do not let these things distract you, stress you. Just the thought of having to do so many things just paralyzes you to the point that you don't do it. So this is so true, especially when you're starting out. Make the main thing, which is getting results for your customers, delivering a good product. That is the main thing, and that will take you the furthest.
Is just very hungry, relentless weeds that are growing. So I encourage you, this is a simple video. I'm using this little pot plant thing here just to make it so damn simple, like a 5-year-old could understand this.
Facts.
What is your plant? Like, what is the thing that you want to grow? Be very intentional and deliberate about that thing. Write it down and put it up, like on your wall, put it everywhere around your house. You just need to know these elements. These are the elements of a successful business. You've got a niche. What is the group of people? Then what is their problem? Why does that problem suck? And then what is the solution that you're going to offer to these people that have that problem? And then how is that solution applied to that problem going to create value that people are willing to pay money for? These 4 elements, these are the only things that really matter. If we boil business down to its first principles, we end up with these 4 elements. They're like the essential building blocks on which this entire thing is going to grow and form. And you cannot forget that. You want to write it down and put it everywhere, and you want to read it every morning. You want to never, ever forget that thing. Because one thing's for sure, these weeds are going to come. And they come fast. They come every day. And no matter how good you are and how disciplined you are, they are still going to come. Like, I spend a lot of my time working on self-discipline, focus, and I even do meditation. And I work on so many things to stay disciplined and to keep my attention really sharp. And I relentlessly say no to everything. I'm like a no man. People ask me things all the time, like, hey Sam, do you want to do a podcast? No.
Anything that you say yes to is you saying no to something else. You get me? Anything that you say yes to is you saying no to something else. So if you say yes to doing this, yes to this project, this is you saying no to your family, no to time with this, time with that. Anything that you say you will do, it's no to something else, because time is very limited and finite. It's not unlimited. So this is why this video is so important. It really breaks down that concept of time, and time is water that you're feeding your plant. And if you take that time and you put it everywhere, nothing will grow. So this is just an amazing video. You know, a lot of knowledge dropped from this very, very simple concept. These things are simple, people. Very, very simple. You don't have to do too much, right? It's actually all about doing a lot less. So I really love this video. I'm really going to take it to heart, and I'm really going to put it in consideration. I'm going to look around in my life, look for more weeds, because I'm sure I have some, right? I am far from perfect. I'm sure I have some weeds, and I'm going to cut them bitches right out of my life. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you guys enjoyed this type of content, make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit that notification icon to get all my videos. And I am dropping them every day. I love doing these videos for you guys. I learn a lot. I hope you guys learned a lot. And with that being said, till next time, Haji out.